Welcome back, everyone, to the Pokemon Oceania International Championships re-recording commentary thing that I do, and it is the Senior Division Finals. We have Polaris on the left and Yuichi on the right. Polaris in 2023 got top 8 at LAIC and top 8 at San Diego Regionals. In 2022, before that, he was a junior. He got top 32 at Worlds, and he was the finalist in Indianapolis Regionals. Those are some pretty great accomplishments there for Yuichi. In 2023, he was the LAIC champion, so that means that this person that he is playing against was in that same tournament. Polaris had gotten LAIC top 8, while Yuichi had become champion at that same tournament. So it is possible that they played either in Swiss or in top 8 there before, so these players likely know each other well. We also have a 2022 Melbourne Regional Championship win, a 2019 Worlds Top 16, and a 2019 EUIC Top 8. So Yuichi's accomplishments look a little bit stronger, but that's only because he might be a year or two older. Therefore, because Polaris has a couple of junior division records on his title right now. But we will see if Polaris is able to outdo Yuichi and add the Oceania International Championship winner to his resume, or if Yuichi is able to add another champion title. He does have 2 champion titles, Melbourne and LAIC. I do not see a single champion title from Polaris, so if I'm going to root for one of them, I'm going to root for Polaris. Always root for the underdog to see if they can come out on top. Both players are set up. We do not have our prize cards out yet, so hopefully they are going to be putting those out now. Looks like we are. We are going to see exactly what this matchup is. Looks like maybe Vikavolt there on the left versus on the right we have Lost Box. Nothing super interesting as far as tech cards that we can see right now, but this should be an interesting match. Looks like Polaris should be favored because Vikavolt generally trades well into Lost Box decks. The only unfortunate thing will be if Lost Box is playing the Goodra version. Goodra is very good against Vikavolt in my opinion, because the damage output just does not do enough. And actually, I did see this on Twitter. Official Pokemon did tweet it out. Look at how cute this Dragonite plush is. I need this in my life. Also, there's like this little super chibi, almost Pikachu looking Umbreon thing. It has no limbs. It just has a tail. It like Pokemon literally just like cut a square of this out and just tweeted it with like a funny caption. And it's just like, look at the way he's looking. Oh, it's just so cute. That's how my dog used to look at me. I miss my pupper. She was a cute one. But I have my kitty now. She looks at me like that too sometimes. But that is a true puppy dog face coming from that Dragonite. So looks like Yuichi does win. The coin flip is going to be going first. We see a grass energy get discarded. Maybe this is the Rayquaza version. That would be very interesting to see, as Yuichi would be able to one-shot some V Pokemon with single prize Pokemon. Also, Polaris is a US player and Yuichi is an Australian, so if Yuichi does win, it would be very fitting to win your own international championship. So if Polaris does win, it would be one champion record on Polaris's record, but he would be a US player winning the Australian tournament, and that would be pretty bad to feel if you are on Yuichi's side like that. Looks like we just get the Zamazenta down with one, I believe, Metal Energy, and the Raikou, the Temple of Sinnoh, and then a pass for turn. We do start the Vikavolt on Polaris' side. I believe we are quick or Ultra Balling here to see if we can find another Pokemon. If you do not know how Vikavolt works, what you want to do is go second, and then you want to use your Paralyzing Bolt with Vikavolt on the first turn of the game. You want to attach a Lightning Energy and then Melanie, a Water, from your discard into play, so that the Paralyzing Bolt's attack cost is fully fulfilled, and then just item lock before your opponent even had the chance to play a single supporter card. We also see a little Silver Bulbasaur there sitting next to the V-Star marker, looking cute as well. I'm surprised that we didn't see any sort of trinkets and plushies from the junior division players. Usually the tables at these championships are filled with plushies and the like from all of the junior division players mostly, but it looks like the seniors are pulling it out and winning it in that regard. We did get it was a battle VIP pass, not any ball cards, that we're able to get the Greninja and another card that I cannot see because I keep taking my eyes away from the table. Oh yes, it was the Raikou V, I remember now. That is the cool art of the Raikou V, so we have a Raikou versus Raikou V match. We are going to scoop up net and play down the Mew yet again, just to thin a card out of hand, so we can Crobat for some more cards. We do want to get that Melanie turn 1 here. It would be fantastic. It would also be nice to see that Zapdos as well. Zapdos does allow you to do an additional 10 damage, although I do believe that that was one of the cards that was prized for Polaris, which is why I was able to identify that he was playing Vikavolt. We are going to see the cool Diamond and Pearl era Energy Search. Do love the borders on those Diamond and Pearl cards. My favorite, if you did not know already, are the Heart Gold Soul Silver era cards. They are my favorite design for the borders of Pokemon cards overall. I believe Scarlet and Violet may start to test to see if that is truly my favorite or not, because we are getting the silver borders soon with that set. But Energy Search being Diamond and Pearl, that is a close second, I would say, to the Heart Gold Soul Silver era cards. Looks like we are using a Trekking Shoes, choosing to discard the Speed Lightning in order to get another card. We've used Concealed cards, so we do have the Water Energy in discard pile. We just need a Melanie. Unfortunately, don't think we have any. No, we do have one more bench space, so if we are able to get a Luminion, although I do know that Polaris did prize a Luminion as well, so looks like we are going to be using Mew's Mysterious Tail to look at the top 6 cards of your deck to grab an item card. We are going to be quick balling away. It looks like another Mew. We do have the Secret Rare one that's active. That is a really nice card. Looks like we are searching the deck for that Luminion so that we can get this attack off, but we did not prize check, so we do know that the Luminion is now in the prize cards. So Polaris would have played this turn differently should he have known that that was in the prize cards, and that is why it is always important to check your prizes. Make sure you know what you do and do not have available to you, so you do not just recklessly quick ball to try to find a Luminion. Obviously, that was the correct play to go for that. If you're going to choose not to go and check your prize cards, that is exactly the play that you do go for, because that is exactly the play you need. You need to get that Melanie turn 1. And unfortunately, that allows Yuichi to have one more turn of items. Also important to note that even if he did get that Melanie, he would have to contest with that Temple of Sinnoh, making the Speed Lightning energy 1 colorless. So he would not have a fulfilled attack cost yet, unless he was able to get a basic Lightning instead. And it looks like Yuichi has nothing. All he does is concealed cards, discarding a medal to draw 2 and then passes. So this is very unfortunate for him. We are going to be able to just attach for a turn. If we have the Lightning energy available to us, just an attached for turn of a Lightning will get us there. We can scoop up this Mew in the active potentially, and then just go and item lock, and then Yuichi is in a very terrible position. Since we see that Zamazenta, even though it does use the metal energy, it is very unlikely that this is the Gudra version, especially since we already saw that Grass energy turn 1 get discarded. Yeah, and especially since he has the Raikou too, because that's 3 different colored energies that Gudra does not use. Alright, so we are going to scoop up net our Mew. We are going to go into another one. We're going to search the next 6 cards on the top of the deck to see if we can grab another item card. We got a Sky Seal Stone, which is pretty cute, but looks like we are going to go for a Quick Ball instead. We did Quick Ball for a Zigzagoon instead of that Luminion before, since we did not have access to the Luminion. So that will be able to help with the knockouts later in the game once we start attacking. Not sure what we are going to quick ball for, but he might just be saving that for a future turn. We do have an escape rope, likely going to be going back into the Mew to grab yet another different card. Yep, and we use the Mysterious Tail yet again. That is the third time this turn. We are just digging for all different cards. Probably looking for something like an energy search. We've already used one, so we are not in the best position to be able to attack, but Yuichi is really just not doing anything, so Polaris probably just has time to get the combo off. This is an uncharacteristically long amount of time to get your first Vikavolt attack off for this deck. However, if your opponent's just bricking, take the opportunity to use as much time as you can and build up your board. Yep, and Yuichi just passes. He has the Cramorant active now, but that is it. We are going to Mysterious Tail yet again. We do have a Scoop Up Net in hand, so we can still do it again this turn as well. We're just going to keep digging as far as we can, take whatever item cards are available to us. I think we've seen Skysteel Stone off of 3 of the 4 something Mysterious Tails that have even been used in this game, which is absolutely ridiculous. That Skysteel Stone just sticking to the top 6 cards of the deck no matter what. Not for a lack of shuffling, though, and his opponent is cutting. Looks like we are going to get the Lost Vacuum to get rid of that Temple of Sinnoh, so now any energy will be able to be attached in order to get that Vikavolt attack going. We do have a Water Energy. We can just attach that for turn. And we have a double cross switcher. Looks like we're going to go after that Zamazenta. It is the one with energy on it, so that is the most threatening Pokemon. We can just get that out. Plus, if we use that as our first target, we may be able to get around the fact that its attack almost doubles when you take a knockout. If you knock out Zamazenta first, Retaliate's really just not going to be doing anything for you since he's already dead. We are going to switch cart into the Vikavolt V now, and we are going to finally Paralyzing Bolt. We are doing, it looks like, just 20? Does he resist lightning somehow? Paralyzing Bolt is 50. I'm a little confused as to why that's 20 and not 50. We are using Chorus's Experiment, finally a card that's actually playable for Yuichi. And finally gets a Comfey as well. We might be able to just retreat. What's Zamazenta's retreat cost? Okay, looks like we are just attaching and able to retreat. Must be a 2 retreat cost. We are going to use Comfey. Flower selecting to look at the top 2. We are going to Lost on the Battle VIP Pass. Very easy decision. It is not your first turn of the game anymore, so that card is absolutely useless. It is blank card, basically. And just passes from there. Can't really do anything. Oh, Zamazenta's ability probably says you take 30 less. That's what it is. I forgot Zamazenta has an ability. It looks like just a Paralyzing Bolt for 50. That's really all that Polaris needs to do. We are going to Lost Zone Mirage Gate this time because that is an item card. We can't play items in this matchup yet. Although, if a Cramorant is able to go active, we do have the ability to take a knockout, or we are able to attack with that at least. It will be a 2-shot if we can remove the Cape of Toughness somehow, but it looks like it will be a 3-shot instead. So Polaris probably feeling a little bit of pressure from that Cramorant, but he is still so far ahead. He's going to scoop up the Mew, put down the Zigzagoon to put 10 on the Cramorant, and then attack for 100 after weakness is enough to finish off the Cramorant and knock it out. Now that Vikavolt will not be damaged coming into the next turn. Zamazenta will be able to attack for a whole bunch of damage and knock it out if we are able to see a Mirage Gate this turn. However, we will still need another card in the Lost Zone, and we would have to see a Mirage Gate. However, the Mirage Gate cannot be played, not only because there's not 7 in the Lost Zone yet, but also because it's an item card. You can't play items. We are gonna finally see a Melanie this game that is putting 1 water energy from discard to the Raikou V with the sweet, sweet art of him running, doing his zoomies. That Raikou probably just used the litter box, and that's why he's doing the zoomies. We are going to quick ball away a Battle VIP pass. We are going to get another Raikou V, just thinning the deck a little bit, getting that Battle VIP pass out of your hand in case something along the lines of Judge, Marnie, or Roxanne come to you. You do not want that Battle VIP pass going back into your deck, because that will be a dead card that you would draw into. We will likely just see another 50 hit, which will knock out the Comfey. Just, yep, Paralyzing Bolt. That will take the knockout. We are going to take a prize. Looks like a Water Energy. We're going to be completely energized this match. And the Zamazenta comes up. Looks like... What is that? Is that Raihan? I don't think I've seen that new art yet. So that will be able to put an additional energy onto Zamazenta. It already had 1 on it. Hopefully we can attach for turn. That is the last card in our... Or no, we do have 1 more card in our hand. But we will now be able to retaliate 100 plus 120 because a Pokemon was knocked out last turn. And that is enough to finish off the Vikavolt. It will break item lock as long as Polaris is not able to set that up again. Looks like we do Fleet-Footed to draw a card. We draw into a Speed Lightning Energy, or maybe we had that already in hand. Attach that to draw 2 more cards. Now we're going to use Radiant Greninja to discard and draw 2 more. We have a very thick hand. It's almost as if Polaris is playing Lost Box because of how thick that hand is right now. So it looks like Polaris will not be using Paralyzing Bolt this turn. He has another Vikavolt he could bench to just start powering up for the next turn. I think it would probably just be better to save it in hand, though, because you could always promote Mew and maybe scoop up net it after putting the Vikavolt down, and you can prevent it from being damaged from something like the Raikou. But it looks like we are going to bench it, and we are just going to take the knockout. Of course, if Yuichi does play something along the lines of Marnie in his deck, you would not want that Vikavolt being sent to the bottom, because that would just be annoying trying to dig it back out. So we do see Raikou gets promoted. Yuichi is now behind 1 prize and has 6 in his Lost Zone, but now he can start playing some item cards. So he may be able to make pull this back here for now. He was very unfavored for the whole game. He was bricking really hard, but Polaris took a couple too many turns getting that Paralyzing Bolt going. And then we had the Raihan turn to the Zamazenta. Really pulls Yuichi back in this game, because not only was that the first attack for Yuichi, but it was able to take him 2 prize cards, evening it up a little bit more, and being able to break item lock. The item lock is what's really important for Yuichi. He needs to make sure that he is not item locked right now, so that he can play those Mirage Gates. Does switch into the Comfey here. He is now able to get the 7th card in the Lost Zone, I do believe. Yes, that is 7. So we are going to be seeing the almighty, all-powerful attack. The Mirage Gate. The power of the Mirage is coming. So we do see Ordinary Rod next. We are going to be putting that Zamazenta back along with a couple of other energies. Looks like a Cramorant is being eyed up as well. I wouldn't be opposed to Comfey as well, just because you have not been able to use very many Comfeys this game. But Cramorant is a good decision as well. It just does really solid damage in this matchup, being able to two-shot the V Pokemon so long as those Cape of Toughnesses are not in play. We are going to re-bench that Raikou Amazing Rare yet again. And it looks like we are going to have the access of the double Mirage Gate. This is getting a little bit crazy here. Yep, so here is the second Mirage Gate. So Zamazenta is now fully powered up, and we'll be able to get an energy probably to the Raikou as well. Yep, it looks like it. So that Zamazenta will be able to come up and take a one-shot on this Raikou V. And it just goes to show you how Polaris is favored so long as he gets the item lock, but once that item lock is broken, Yuichi can just abuse his items so heavily. He's not even taken the knockout yet, and we're going to show the prizes on screen to see if we can take those. We are going to take 2 of those. And that Raikou, that beautiful, amazing alternate art Raikou goes down. Now it's 2 prizes to 3, and Polaris really needs a way to come back into this. I do not think that there is a way he can, though, because this is hard-hitting 1-prizers versus soft-hitting 2-prizers. So this is the thing. If Yuichi is able to Mirage Gate one more time, that Raikou can come up, knock out the active Mew and the benched Zigzagoon, and win the game, taking the last 2 prize cards. So Polaris is going to have to see if there is a way that he can knock out Zamazenta while also disrupting the hand from Yuichi to make sure there is the least amount of cards in his hand as possible, so that there is no Mirage Gate onto the Raikou, and even if there is no way to recycle the energies so that it can attack. Those are the ways that you win this matchup now. So we are going to attach return to the Vikavolt. We have a fully powered up one of those now. The Zamazenta is only hitting for 100 if a Pokemon was not knocked out this past turn. So if Polaris is able to just bring up maybe the Comfey. But it looks like we do also have the Zapdos now, so we can do 60 damage. Looks like they put the prize cam up for a second, thinking that Polaris was taking a knockout, but that is not the case. That will happen if we are able to scoop up the Zigzagoon in a future turn. This is pretty great. That does shut off the Zamazenta's Retaliate bonus damage. So the Vikavolt will not be able to be one-shot this turn. We're just hoping that Yuichi is not able to power up the Raikou. If he does, he can soften up the active Vikavolt and also take out the Zigzagoon on the bench, preventing it from being able to finish off the Comfey potentially. Looks like there are only 3 cards left in deck for Polaris. That is kind of crazy to see that his deck is so thin when Yuichi's deck is so large and he's the one playing Lost Box. Alright, so we are going to use the flower selecting. We're going to Lost Zone a Comfey. Keep the other card. Do we have the Mirage Gate yet? Not quite sure. Probably not. Yuichi is just straightening up everything. They do start with a 75-minute timer for this match, so they still have 53 minutes left for the best of 3. So even though this game 1 has not yet finished, they still have plenty of time because they still have more time than a regular round of Swiss. Looks like we are going to use boss's orders that will bring up the Zapdos. Are we just passing here? Looks like we are. Hopefully Polaris has a way to move the Zapdos. He has a very large hand. I do see Air Balloon and Scoop Up Net both. So we will be able to Scoop Up Net the Zigzagoon, bench it to knock out the Comfey. And now Yuichi will have to promote something. Also, Polaris has to take his prize card, and it is Forest Seal Stone. So now he can search his deck for any one card that he wants at any point. Looks like we are going to Quick Ball away the Sky Seal Stone. We do not need that in this matchup. There is a 3-card remaining deck. We are just checking to see what is remaining. Looks like Judge, Melanie, and something else I didn't quite see. Not anything super relevant in there. We are going to use Greninja's concealed cards to draw 2. The last card is the card I believe he is looking for. Looks like we are going to put Forest Seal Stone down on the Crobat. We're going to put the Air Balloon on our active, and we may just Judge. I would not be surprised if he Sky Seal Stone or Forest Seal Stones first, if he's looking to grab that last card. Looks like we are going to Judge. Maybe the Judge is what he was digging for. That does disrupt Yuichi's hand quite a bit. Maybe Yuichi will not have a way to retaliate in the next turn. But that is the problem right now, is Yuichi has 2 attackers. He has the Cramorant and he has the Zamazenta. If the Cramorant goes down, which it will if he attacks with the Vikavolt, the Zamazenta just comes up and finishes the game. We do not have something like the Cape of Toughness yet. It looks like that was the last card in the deck. That was the card that he was looking for to make sure that he does not get one-shot by this Zamazenta. And he is going to knock out the Cramorant, take another prize card, go down to his final prize card. And now we're going to have to see if Yuichi has something like a Lost Vacuum in order to finish off this game here. Or if he has the Mirage Gate along with a boss's orders. But it looks like we are using Chorus's Experiment. We're going to see the top 5. 2 more Chorus's Experiments are in there. Along with an Air Balloon, we still have the Comfey. We can dig 1 more deep, or 2 more deep. Double Switch Cart. So he can Switch Cart into the Zamazenta. Now, Polaris will not be able to knock out Zamazenta in this next turn unless he is able to attach another energy. He does have the Melanie in hand, so Polaris does have game. So, yeah, I do not believe there is anything Yuichi can do at this point, but this game was extremely close. If Yuichi maybe didn't brick for if Yuichi bricked 1 less turn, I think that this would have been Yuichi's game 2 win. Just attaches the lightning energy from hand and takes the knockout with Super Zap Cannon for 190. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. So we are going to skip ahead here. See the next prize cards for this next game if YouTube wants to buffer, as we all know and love. Remember, guys, only about 10% of you are subscribed right now. If you want to go and hit that subscribe button down below, if you have made it this far, not sure what is going on with their cameras there. That was a little bit odd. But yeah, make sure you are subscribed so that you can see these videos come up in your feed as they are posted. And also make sure that you hit that like button down below and comment that allows the YouTube algorithm to be well fed. It is always hungry. Looks like there were 2 mulligans here. We are going to draw an additional 2 cards for Yuichi. That may be the edge he needs in order to swing this matchup back in his favor after losing game 1. They should still have essentially almost a full match timer in order to play just games 2 and 3 here. So it looks like Polaris does go first. Since Yuichi lost, he knows Vikavolt wants to go second. So he is going to make Polaris go first. That way, Yuichi's first turn can have both items and supporters. That is exactly how this matchup goes. You want to make sure that you can use Colress's Experiment on the same turn that you can use Scoop Up Net for your Comphase. Lost Box, while it is preferred to go first so that you have one more turn of just using Comphase and stuff, one more turn to get some stuff in the Lost Zone, has no problem going second, because if you are able to go off to the races, you can just get a turn 1 attack with Cramorant once there are 4 in your Lost Zone. Looks like Umbreon must have jump shipped, because there is only the Dragonite left with its puppy dog eyes. I'm feeling a little sorry for whatever happened to that Umbreon. I'm not sure where he went. We are using Mew's Mysterious Tail to look at the top 6 and grab an item card. It looks like there is a Cross Switcher and Air Balloon. Air Balloon is the preferred option here because now that Mew can free retreat at any point. I'm not sure if we're going to attach that to this yet, or if we're going to go back into the deck. We do have a Quick Ball. Quick Ball could be for that Vikavolt. Looks like we are going to Quick Ball, discard a Boss's Orders full art. That is one of the best full arts in the game, in my opinion. We are also playing the correct art of the Crobat V as well. The one from the Trainer Gallery. With the with Silver from Gold and Silver. One of the most beautiful arts in the game. One of my favorite looking cards. It just looks so good. We are going to bench Zapdos, attach Air Balloon. We are going to Crobat for 4. So we have a total of 6 cards. There is a Battle VIP pass, so we will be able to get Vikavolt into play now. Along with maybe another Mew. Or maybe just double Vikavolt. He knows how important Vikavolt is in this matchup with the item lock. He might just be going ham in there with the double Vikavolt. Looks like it. He's choosing against it. He's going to go for the Raikou instead. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would go for the second Mew. I mean, it depends. If his hand just already has everything he wants, then it's fine. You do also want to go for Radiant Greninja as well, because that can discard some water energies into your discard pile. Unless he did prize that, because that would be bad for him in that regard. Looks like we are going to attach the Lightning Energy Basic for turn. And that is it from Polaris. He is going to pass turn. Obviously, this isn't a turn where he can do things like Melanie, since he was forced to go first. So that is pretty much everything we need from Polaris. We do see the Battle VIP pass from Yuichi as well. So he is going to be able to get out a couple Comphase or a Comphase and Radiant Greninja. That way he can start using some abilities, getting some cards in the Lost Zone, dig for some Colress's Experiments. So he can get even more in the Lost Zone, even more in his hand. Lost Zone decks love to stack cards in their hand. They love having all of their options available to them. Looks like Yuichi's hand right now is not too great. He's got a few energy and a Cramorant. Energy is fine. You can always just attach that to retreat. Unfortunately, Raikou is not a very good starter. It has a 2 retreat cost. You cannot just attach 1 energy to it to attack. You do need to attach 2. So we are going to need something along the lines of a Scoop Up Net or a Switch Cart in order to move this Raikou out of the active spot. And again, that Dragonite's head is so disproportionate in size to its body Look at those little wings. That little tail. We are going to be able to switch cart into the Comfey. We are going to Lost Zone the Scoop Up Net to get the Radiant Greninja. That is amazing. This is the start that you want. We are going to Radiant Greninja now. We are going to discard a Metal Energy to draw 2. What else we got here, Yuichi? We are going to Scoop Up Net. We are going to go in with Comfey number 2. This is a very interesting decision. Looks like we're going to Lost Zone the Ordinary Rod. That's probably correct, but it feels a little off. Looks like we are going to Lost Zone a Battle VIP Pass as well. We've already played one. We don't really need another one, especially since we already have a Cramorant in hand. So we don't need to search that out. We are marking that our abilities have been used. And I'm not sure if we're going to see much more from Yuichi here. Looks like we are just going to pass. It would have been nice to see that Cramorant attack, but we are 1 in the Lost Zone short. So as you can see, that is not the ideal first turn for Yuichi, so now maybe he is regretting going first. Or going second, rather. Might be regretting going second because now he didn't have 2 turns to get stuff in for the attacking turn. But then again, you have to do what you have to do, right? He just did not see a Colress's experiment. We are going to Quick Ball for the Luminion. That will get us the Melanie. We should already have the Water Energy in discard. If not, we probably will be able to. I didn't realize his mask has Muse on it too. That's kind of funny. I think you can only buy those masks in Japan. They're like a Pokemon Center mask. Alright, so we are using the Speed Lightning Energy on the Raikou to draw 2 cards. And yeah, I think we have everything we need for this turn, so we are just going to go in, retreat with the Mew, and use Paralyzing Bolt for 60 because of the Zapdos. At some point in the future, we can just slap down a Galarian Zigzagoon, and that Comfey will be no more. So we are going to do some flower selectings. We are up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the Lost Zone right now. Looks like we are going to attach and retreat into the Cramorant, and we are just going to spit Not So Innocently onto this Vikavolt. I mean, it's called Spit Innocently, but do you see this face? Do you see this face of this Cramorant? That does not look innocent at all to you, does it? KO. So yeah, that Vikavolt really needs a Cape of Toughness on it now in order to be able to survive another attack, potentially from the Cramorant. Although the Cramorant may just go down in 1 turn now. That Zigzagoon did come down. It does knock out the Comfey, so we can take a prize. We are now looking for that Cape of Toughness with the Forest Seal Stone. I think that is a very good use of your V-Star power. Yuichi will now have to find a Lost Vacuum in order to take the knockout now. We are going to move away from the gameplay area to show that that card is indeed Cape of Toughness. We could not see that before for some reason, so we are going to have to zoom in as close as possible. Make sure that we cannot see the other cards that are being played. Yep, still don't know what Polaris is doing. I believe he played a trainer card and is now searching his deck, maybe. He is doing something else now. Okay, it looks like at some point he played an energy search. And now there is a judge. Oh, looks like he must have put Luminion down. Not sure if he quickballed for that or already had that in hand. We are going to put down Path to the Peak as well. And we are going to judge that Luminion also has the Sky Steel Stone. That was just put down to thin it from the deck, essentially. You cannot use 2 V-Star powers in a game. And also, Yuichi is not playing any V Pokemon anyway. My cat is looking at me very longingly. She says, "Why no lap for me? I must snuggle time." Cat, why are you looking at me like that? She feels nothing but neglect. Even though she's spoiled. And looks like we are going to knock out the Cramorant with Paralyzing Bolt again because that Zapdos does plus 10. That makes it a total of 60 damage from Paralyzing Bolt times 2 for weakness is 120. That is 10 more than needed for Cramorant since it has 110 HP. We are going to go in with our Flower Selecting after we promote this Comfey. It does have an air balloon on it, so it will be an easy Pokemon to retreat out of the way. Looks like we do have Zamazenta Lightning Energy. We are going to need not 1 but 2 Mirage Gates if we want to do the full attack with it this turn. Looks like no. Yeah, and it says if this Pokemon has any energy attached, it takes 30 less damage from attacks. So it does only take 20 damage from Vikavolt. We are going to play Escape Rope. That does force the Raikou up from Yuichi's side. We will be able to promote Mew here. Look at the top 6 cards of our deck. Grab an item card potentially. We're going to check our hand to make sure we know what we want. My cat is playing with her dead bunny toy, I call it. It's so old that it doesn't really have that much fur left on it, but she keeps grabbing it and flinging it up into the air and then chasing after it. Now she has it by the neck and she's doing a sad meow because she has her kill. Sonny, do you have your kill? Good kitty. Yep, nothing from Yuichi. We just pass for turn after that Paralyzing Bolt for 60. So Polaris will be able to just Paralyzing Bolt for 60 yet again and finish off this Raikou. Yuichi is in a bit of a pickle here since he is not able to play his... he is not able to... Sorry, my cat is adorable. He is not able to play his Mirage Gates. He does have 7 in a Lost Zone, but he just does not have the ability to play item cards yet. He is going to promote this Comfey. Looks like there is some sort of discussion with the judges, but nope, everything's cleared up. They know what's going on now. We are going to Raihan to the Zamazenta. We can now search for the Metal Energy if we don't already have it. And now we have a way to attack. Very unfortunate that we were not... well, we do have the Cave of Toughness on the Vikavolt, right? So this is perfectly fine. That is now enough damage to be able to take the knockout. If we were attacking with Cramorant, it's not the knockout because of the Cape of Toughness. So a fully powered up Zamazenta is exactly what we need to do. Yuichi knows his outs to the item lock, and it is that Raihan with the Zamazenta combination. We are going to get that going. KO, indeed. So now Polaris is going to need an out to this Zamazenta. Polaris does also need 3 more prize cards, and again, just like in the previous game, Yuichi was able to take 2 prize cards seemingly out of nowhere. So we're going to have to see if Polaris has enough of a lead this game to keep the lead going, or if Yuichi will be able to steamroll using these Zamazentas being powered up by Raihan. And the stream died. Okay, it's back. Sort of. So I believe he chose to Lost Zone this path to the peak, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what he Lost Zoned with the Lost Vacuum. Oh, it was the air balloon. I think that was on the Comfey. So we are grabbing the cross switcher off of the Mew's Mysterious Tail. Hopefully we have another one. We can play a double cross switcher. We have a new Vikavolt fully powered up as well, along with a fully powered up Raikou. So Polaris has multiple attacking options. Does he want to go in with the item lock yet again, or does he want to just remove Zamazenta from the equation? If he does destroy the Zamazenta, Yuichi will have a turn of items, and that does seem very scary. We are just going to go in, pull up the Comfey, and we are going to hit it for 60. Because again, if we are able to do something along the lines of use the Galarian Zigzagoon again, we can just hit ping for another 10 and knock it out that way. Or we can just go in for another Paralyzing Bolt and knock it out that way too. So we are using Colress's Experiment, going to Lost Zone a couple cards, one of them being a Grass Energy. Looks like the other one might have been a Quick Ball. Yeah, Quick Ball. Again, Yuichi's still not in the best position, but that powered up Zamazenta is not something that Vikavolt can easily deal with. We are going to retreat the Comfey by attaching a Lightning Energy to it. And then we are just going to hit for a very solid 100 damage. Oh, and there is that die again that has the messed up pip. We saw that earlier, I think, during one of the Game 1 days. Day 1 games. So if Yuichi is able to take the knockout on this Vikavolt, that would put him to 2 prize cards remaining. That would actually put him ahead of Polaris all of a sudden. Again, if we have the Scarlet and Violet rule change to the tool cards, that would no longer be an item. He would be able to play something like Choice Belt, but unfortunately that is not the case. Right now, the item cards are... all tool cards are item cards currently, so they cannot be played under item lock. We are going to scoop up net that Zapdos up. We are going to put down the Galarian Zigzagoon. The Comfey is now knocked out. And we are going to use the Super Bolt thingy to knock out the Zamazenta. Now Yuichi's only Pokemon in play is the Radiant Greninja. He does have access to item cards, so he is going to have to work a lot in order to get the Zamazenta recycled and fully powered up yet again. So it looks like Yuichi is eyeing up the Lost Zoning of a Scoop Up Net. Unfortunately, that is kind of what he needs in order to move Radiant Greninja. So we'll have to see if he still has a way to build this up. He does have... Looks like he is trying to get a Quick Ball because he does have Ordinary Rod. So it is possible that with that Mirage... Oh, he does have another Scoop Up Net in hand there. It looks like he's choosing to Lost Zone a Mirage Gate. Does he have another one in hand, hopefully? I think he may have the pieces in order to get the Zamazenta back and fully power it up yet again. Although it might be easier to do something like recycle the Zapdos and attack with that, or the Raikou and attack with that instead. Because then he can knock out the active while also putting 100 damage onto the bench. He could knock out the Mew, or he could put 120 damage on the Raikou V to soften that up for a Cramorant. So if he is able to Ordinary Rod in, say, Cramorant and Raikou, then Mirage Gate to the Raikou, attach for turn, that would do it. That would set up game. Looks like he is going for the Zamazenta route, though. I'm not sure how I agree with that or not. Yeah, I do think I would rather attack with Raikou here if I can pull that off. Knock out the active, put 120 onto Raikou V, and then still have the Cramorant left in order to finish it off. But looks like we are going for the Zamazenta instead. Raikou can just come up and knock that out, I believe. Let me think about this here. So we got 120. Let's see. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. No, it would actually be short. Raikou would actually be short if you have a bench of 5 on your side for Polaris and a bench of 1 from Yuichi's side. That is 140 damage that the Zapdos does, I believe. 20, 40, 60, 80, 40. Yeah, that is 140. So with the minus 30 from the ability Metal Shield, that will actually not be enough to knock out the Zamazenta's 130 HP. So no, Yuichi is doing the exact right play. He knows that Zamazenta is very powerful in this position. Also, he doesn't even rebench the Radiant Greninja anyway. There is no Pokemon in play besides the Zamazenta for Yuichi. So Polaris does not actually have an out to knock out the Zamazenta. But how is Yuichi going to take another 2 prizes with Zamazenta? Because Polaris can just 2-shot the Zamazenta with Raikou and then win the game. That's not the way you want to go about it, but you could. Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. You just 2-shot him with that. And then you even set up a second Raikou. Yeah, I think this is Polaris's game to win. I think Polaris is going to 2-0 Yuichi. He's not going to be able to win this turn, but he will be able to win next turn. Yuichi could always scoop up net the Zamazenta again, but then he's just really out of attackers. So yeah, my play that I said with the Raikou Amazing Rare before wouldn't work because Polaris is only at 1 remaining prize card. So Yuichi does actually have to go with this exact play because he needs the Zamazenta to live. Okay, alright, almost he does Greninja under path. Thankfully, Polaris is able to stop him in time, and Yuichi is able to just put the Temple of Sinnoh down. Oh, and it looks like Yuichi does have, out of nowhere, Sableye Zigzagoon knock out both benched 1 prize Pokemon with the 13 total damage counters from both the Sableye and the Galarian Zigzagoon, knocking them both out and winning the game. So very, very, very skillfully played from Yuichi there. That came out of nowhere. I did not even see that as an option. Whew. So if Polaris was able to somehow disrupt, if he had maybe a judge, maybe Yuichi was not able to get that play off. So that was a very, very close game yet again, and these players are going into Game 3. They still have 22 minutes left to play this match. Again, they have plenty of time. Polaris, very deserving of a win. He has a lot of top placements, but no winning champion records. Yuichi is a native to Australia, so this is his home turf. So will it be home turf or will it be the underdog who really seems to deserve the win? We are gonna go right into this. We're gonna see if we can get to the point where they put out the prize cards, and we are going to see if YouTube does allow us to buffer. Yet again, I may add, Do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Only 10% of you currently watching are subscribed. If you want to make sure you see more content like these games, make sure that you subscribe so that they show up in your subscription feed. Like the videos so that they show up for other people in their recommendeds, and comment as well. Do not forget that I have a bunch of links in the description box below for different socials and things of that nature, along with my Twitch, where I do stream Pokemon TCG related content, as well as other gaming things as well. My cat is knocking stuff over and being scared by the things that she is doing to herself. She just runs, knocks something over, goes, "Oh!" Cat. Just staring contest. I always win. Cats think that a staring contest is like you, like, asking them to fight. So if she's doing something rude, I'll just stare at her and she runs scared. But she's a sweet one, aren't you? Looks like we do get the Battle VIP pass here. We already get 2 Battle VIP passes in one turn. We are able to get the God setup here from the Lost Zone deck. Hopefully we do not have that Radiant Greninja prize. I did put the prizes on screen, but I did not look at them too well. I do know that Polaris has double cross switcher prize, so that may come up in the future. They're also in very high placed prize cards, so we will likely not see those. It will be very unlikely for Polaris to be able to play a double cross switcher if he only has 2 in deck. We do use the second Battle VIP pass to get Radiant Greninja, Cramorant. Again, this is all that you want to see on the first turn. Let's see if Polaris is able to get his turn 1 going second. First turn Paralyzing Bolt attack with the Melanie combo. If he does not, Yuichi does have a pretty good start this time. I would argue better than the last 2 games. So I would say that this is Yuichi's spot to win, potentially. He's already got 2 in the Lost Zone and has not had a turn of supporter yet. Looks like he is discarding a second Raikou Amazing Rare, I believe, might be in there. It's hard to tell. He has 1 in the Lost Zone already, which is perfectly fine. He also has his Temple of Sinnoh, which is likely a 1-of in there, so that Path to the Peak may screw him up later with Radiant Greninja's consistency being shut off. Oh, it's because my cat just used the litter box. That's why. I just got my text from my litter robot that says she used it. That's why she's acting all crazy. She's got her zoomies. We get another Crimorant down, and we just pass the turn for Yuichi. So very solid turn 1. We see Polaris. Again, we cannot see the screen, but I was able to get a very quick glimpse before it came away. Yes, that is Battle VIP Pass for Radiant Greninja, and I didn't see that other card until we came back, but it is Vikavolt V. So hopefully we are able to discard a Water Energy, draw 2, play Melanie, attach a Lightning Energy for turn, scoop up the Mew, and go places. Maybe even get the Zapdos down would be great. That's really all that you need on a turn 1 from this deck. I know that I say only, but that is a lot. But this deck can somewhat consistently get it. I believe the math is like an 80% turn 1 rate to get it. It's just a little unfortunate. I don't think Polaris has gotten it in either of the games yet so far. We are going to Trekking Shoes, discard the Path to draw another card. It is Scoop Up Net, which is what you want to see to move the Mew. Now we just need to see the Melanie and the Water Energy in discard. We do have an Energy Search that can get us to the Water Energy if we do not already have it. Looks like we don't. We can grab Energy Search. Yep. When we're going to play it, grab the Water Energy, then we can use Greninja's concealed cards to draw an additional 2 cards. and hopefully we get into the Melanie, or we can get into the Quick Ball for the Luminion. I believe we did not prize the Luminion this game, so that would get you there. We already have the Scoop Up Net for the Mew. And then hopefully we also have a way to get to the Zapdos, because that would be perfect math there. Yep, so there is concealed cards. Drawing 3 cards. Yep, so they fixed that very easily. Those judges are really on it. And we even draw the Melanie and the Zapdos. We got everything we needed off of that Radiant Greninja. Yeah, he was thinking Melanie. That's why he drew 3, I bet. Or almost drew 3. But that's why you draw your cards face down like that, so that you can recognize your mistake and catch it before you actually see the cards and make it an irreversible game state. We are also going to Hisuian Heavy Ball for good measure. Now we can see what all 6 of our prize cards here. I don't believe Polaris is taking notes, but if he had a notepad, he would be able to write down what all 6 prize cards are, so that he is aware of what he is missing before he does any deck searches. So we do scoop up that Mew, we put the Vikavolt V active, and now we can Paralyzing Bolt for 60 onto the Comfey. Yuichi will not be able to play Scoop Up Net yet. He will not be able to play Scoop Up Net in order to scoop up that Comfey. So that damage won't be sticking. All we need is a Galarian Zigzagoon to finish that thing off. Looks like we are using Greninja's... No, we are using Comfey. We are deciding which card we want to Lost Zone. Is Raihan's art just like him, like kicking you in the face? Is that what that art is? Also, that's like the 3rd full art of Raihan, isn't it? So I knew Raihan already had an alternate art, and that's why I was a little confused about the new art. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he has 3 arts for full arts now, which is unheard of. I think like Skyla has that many full arts too, which is stupid. We are going to attach Retreat after we use that concealed cards. We are going to go into the Cramorant, and we are going to spit Not So Innocently all over this Vikavolt. That is 1 Spit Innocently away from being able to take the knockout. We are going to see another Vikavolt come down. We will be able to attach that Water Energy from hand for turn if we want to. Otherwise, we can just use Greninja's concealed cards. We are going to knock out that Comfey on the bench with the Galarian Zigzagoon already having everything that we need in hand for Polaris. Yes, we are going to discard the Water Energy, draw 2. We are going to look at the prize cards, obscuring the board. We do have a Scoop Up Net. We could potentially reuse the Greninja again if we have another energy in hand. Oh, yep, we do have the Melanie and a Speed Lightning, so we do attach for turn to draw 2. Now we have a very large hand here for Polaris. We might even be able to switch out this Vikavolt to put a new safe one up to one-shot a Cramorant if we have a switching card, but I don't know how many switching cards this deck plays. I know they usually rely on a lot of Scoop Up Nets, but those only really work for the Mews. Looks like we are going to go for an Energy Search, grabbing another Water Energy. We could scoop up the Radiant Greninja, discard that, and draw 2 more. I do like that play. I do believe there are a couple of Scoop Up Nets in hand. They won't work on that Vikavolt, so might as well use it on the Greninja, get more value out of it there. You could use 1 on the Greninja and then another one on the Zigzagoon to put 1 onto the Comfey. I think you would rather just hold the Scoop Up Net on the Zigzagoon for now if you're going to do that. We are going to use our V-Star of the Forest Seal Stone that we just slapped down on the Vikavolt. We are going to grab the Cape of Toughness A little unfortunate that you have to put it on the other Vikavolt to do that, but at least you get one more turn of value out of this first Vikavolt. Yuichi's only attackers are the Cramorants right now, so this Vikavolt will live to see one more turn. Okay, you'd prefer to see the Forest Seal Stone on something like a Crobat V or the Raikou V, so that then you can put the Cape of Toughness on the other another Cape of Toughness on the other Vikavolt, but one is prized, it looks like. I wouldn't be surprised if there's only 2 capes in this deck. Looks like we are just straightening out the cards. Got a little confused there. I almost thought he was knocked out. We are going to put a Metal Energy down on this Zamazenta that we are benching, so that will be reducing 30 damage that it takes now that it has a energy card on it. They have 9.5 minutes left. This game might actually go to time and go by prize cards. Polaris is ahead by 2 right now. Looks like we are going for the Raihan, but we did just attach for turn onto this Zamazenta, so I do not believe that we will be able to attack yet. Yeah, it looks like Raihan is just kicking you in the face. That's odd for an art. Looks like he did search a Metal Energy, so that will likely be for next turn. He is going to spit innocently. And that is it. So if Yuichi is able to, like, say, break the item lock, he can then Lost Vacuum away the Cape of Toughness, take the knockout on that, and then knock out the other Vikavolt. But that seems like a lot, and I don't think that's realistic to get into. We are playing Escape Rope here from Polaris. We might be switching into the other Vikavolt that is a lot safer. I would love to knock out the Cramorant in this situation, but unfortunately I don't think that that is something that will be able to happen yet. Looks like he is going to put up the Comfey. That will be able to be knocked out in essentially one hit. We will be able to hit for 60, and then on the next turn scoop up net our Zigzagoon. I don't think he wants to use the Zigzagoon this turn, because then he knocks out the Comfey from an attack, and then the Zamazenta is online. You do not want to do it that way. You'd rather take potentially 2 knockouts by taking the Comfey and the Cramorant next turn. Or the Comfey and the Radiant Greninja, either way. And then you get more mileage out of it. We are also, Polaris might want to Lost Vacuum his own Forest Seal Stone so he can put a Cape of Toughness down. He would have to get that off his prize cards first. I don't even think that's the next prize card he's taking. It's probably the second one. Second one in right now. So we are hitting the Comfey for 60. We are going to attach for turn Boss's Orders. So we are bringing up that Vikavolt that is already damaged, and we are going to spit innocently yet again. This is actually not looking good for Polaris right now, because Yuichi is able to take his first 2 prize cards, tying up the game, and then Zamazenta will potentially be able to take another 2 prize turn, knocking out another Vikavolt in one hit. So you can see how this matchup should be unfavored for Yuichi, but this Zamazenta is really putting in so much work. It is so good against the Vikavolts in particularly. I think what Polaris wants to do now is I think he wants to boss up the Zamazenta and then use Super Zap Cannon to knock it out. It will break the item lock, but at least you one-shot the Zamazenta. So if maybe he has double cross switcher, I know he did prize too. Oh, there is the lost vacuum. And he's lost owning the Sky Seal Stone to play it. That's funny too. And there is the Cape of Toughness now. That is amazing to see. But again, I would like to see the Super Zapbolt with a double cross switcher and a Judge all at the same time. Can we pull that off? Because we need to limit Yuichi's options after removing the Zamazenta. And then on the next turn, all you need is one more energy to attach, and then you can go back into item lock. So you'll give Yuichi one turn of items while he has no comp phase in play. He's already used some Chorus's experiments, I believe. Looks like they've stopped the game for some reason. Not sure what is going on here. I don't think anybody made any mistakes. But of course, I'm not very good at catching them while I'm doing commentary. Alright, we will have to listen in yet again.
Nice clean gameplay here, I'm sure, from both players, but if any slip-ups happen, the judges do have the option to just pause the game and make sure everything is in alignment.
If any slip-ups happen, the judges can pause the game.
The Pokemon TCG being followed correctly in these matches.
So they're just saying words.
Yeah, I think that what the discussion here is around is game 2, actually. Not even something that's happening here. Yuichi won game 2 by using Sableye, using Lost Mine to take out 2 Pokemon. Of course, Lost Mine does require that you have 10 cards in the Lost Zone. So I think there is a question of, in the end of game 2, were there 10 cards in the Lost Zone? And I think we are.
Oh, so Yuichi may not have had 10 cards in the Lost Zone to attack with Sableye in the previous game. And that is what they are discussing right now. Because if he didn't, he would probably get a double prize card penalty or a game loss. Or a quad prize card penalty or something. And this might just win the whole match for Polaris.
Might have been close. We'll have to see if we can get an exact count of what happened.
Yeah, I don't think I...
So let's look into that ourselves if we can.
On the Lost Zone.
So we are at 439 basically right now. Let's go back to the previous game.
So we'll have to see depending what happens.
And I would like to see this myself.
Some footage, but I guess just jumping back into
so easy to just scroll. All right, let's see. Lost Zone 8. The Pokemon streams counter is at 8. And there, I mean, I can't see. That is a big pile right now. But Pokemon stream count is 8. So we will have to see if he truly has 8 in there or not. I think Yuichi did count it, though. Because I do see him pick it up. In this. Or I thought I did. Yeah, he picks it up here. Let me see if we can find this.
I mean, at this point, even now, though, Yuichi doesn't have an immediate way to respond and get another 2 prizes next turn. Would have to...
This is such a close game.
So, yeah, I think he counts it here. Because it says Lost Zone 8 here, so that's the issue. This is a crazy, crazy situation to even be in. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, Yuichi has 12 cards in the Lost Zone here, so he did not do anything wrong. So we will have to go back to where we were, which was here, and see if they figure that out themselves.
The word to continue play. So
perfect.
It looks like the footage has been reviewed. Everything is A-okay. There was just a little bit of a question about how things went because that game 2 did end so out of nowhere.
It did.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was the stream had the wrong lost zone count. They weren't keeping track correctly. And so probably Twitch chat was like, "Oh my god, he cheated." Like they always do. And that paused this game for no reason. So that is all fixed. And I was able to figure that out for them faster than they could. So very interesting to see that. So they are resuming play. I do believe it is Polaris's turn. We are going to go in with the Raikou V. We are going to Speed Lightning for 2 more cards. We have a huge hand. Melanie attached for turn. Draw 2, draw 3. Alright, so we just need to pick up or move this Radiant Greninja. See if we have enough Pokemon in order to take the knockout here. We need 1 more, I believe. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160. Minus 30 is exactly 130. So that is enough. The Raikou can come up and take the 1-shot. And Polaris will go down to 2 prize cards remaining. Yeah, it does look like that Polaris will be able to win this game even without a prize card penalty. Even though they tried to give one to Yuichi, even though it was not warranted. He had 12 cards in his lost zone, so he was able to attack with Sableye in the previous game. So we do switch cart into a newly placed Comfey. We get double Chorus's Experiment, makes that an easy decision. We can play another Chorus's Experiment. I'm not sure if that will get us as far as we need to go, though. We do need to one-shot this Raikou V. So we will have to see if we can recycle that Zamazenta and go through the whole shebang with it again. We have 7 cards in the Lost Zone. We can Mirage Gate. We have an Ordinary Rod in hand, but we need to get all of the pieces first. So do we have Mirage Gate? Nope, we have double Ordinary Rod. I don't see Mirage Gate. We haven't used Chorus's Experiment yet. We could draw into a Mirage Gate still. And again, this should be 8 cards in the... Or no, this is 7 cards in the Lost Zone now. Yeah, so now Yuichi is putting his own count for the Lost Zone down. Because the stream has shown to be unreliable on the counter. Unfortunately. We are going to scoop up the Greninja, use Comfey's Flower Selecting yet again. We are going to go to 8 in the Lost Zone. We are going to have to choose between Escape Rope and whatever that other card was. Scoop Up Net, Switch Cart, I don't remember. I think you Lost Zone the Escape Rope. Yeah, Switch Cart. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, get rid of the Escape Rope. Because Polaris could always put up something that you don't want to be knocking out. We are going to use the Chorus's Experiment. We should also be able to use 1 more Greninja ability as well. He does want the energy. Looks like he's choosing between Switch Cart and the Chorus. I think the Chorus is fine. You already have a Switch Cart. We are at 10 in the Lost Zone now, so we can do that. We can use that Sableye attack yet again. We are going to Greninja, discard an energy to draw 2. We have 2 Ordinary Rods. Can we see the Mirage Gate? I don't see a Mirage Gate yet in hand from Yuichi. That's still what we are looking for here. That's exactly what we need. We need Mirage Gate. We desperately need Mirage Gate. And the scary thing is, if you do not get it this turn, there is a second Raikou down on the board. So there is the threat of double Raikou. If you don't get it this turn, the next Raikou can get powered up in 1 turn either way. So we are going to Ordinary Rod now, it looks like. We're going to put back the Raikou as well. I think we might just be attacking with Cramorant this turn. I don't like that because Polaris will just be going back to item lock. Even if you attack with that Cramorant, he'll just hard retreat the Raikou. Raikou, I believe, only has a 1 retreat cost. You can just retreat the water straight off of it. You can always Melanie to power it up yet again, or you just attach any other energy that you have available to you in your hand or deck. Yeah, this is very bad. If Yuichi was able to get that Mirage Gate off of this deck here, he dug really deep too. He used 2 Greninjas, 2 Comfeys, and a Chorus's Experiment. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 13 cards deep, and he did not see it. Oh, and that deck is so small, too. I think he may have prized 1 or 2. Let me see if I can go back and see it. If I can see the prize cards while he's playing here. Of course not. No, it's not showing me the prize cards here. Oh, well. Yeah, he may have just prized too many Mirage Gates. I do think this might have been the game where he prized like 2 of them. I don't remember. They all blur together. I do believe the actual commentators on the actual stream do have access to all of the camera views at one time. So they can always check. Or at least they should. We are going to Melanie. We are going to draw 3. Yep, and it was just the Cramorant attack onto this Raikou. So I would like to see the retreat of the Raikou. We are going to Fleet-Foot it as well for good measure. Why not? If you can draw an extra free card, why not do it? Yeah, I would love to see the retreat of this Raikou into the Vikavolt and just go for the Paralyzing Bolt, item locking Yuichi yet again so that we do not see a Mirage Gate, so there is no way for him to potentially make any sort of comeback. I do believe that even if you attack with Raikou, you probably still win, but I would, again, love to see Paralyzing Bolt. I think what you could even do is, I think he's thinking about using the double cross switcher. You could just take out the Comfey as well if you have these Zigzagoon still in hand after you scooped it up. So we are really thinking hard. Yeah, again, I think it's just a real easy, you either cross switcher and try to KO the Comfey in one hit, or you just retreat and you Paralyzing Bolt the Cramorant and knock it out. Either way, I think it's perfectly fine. Looks like we are going for the cross switcher route. We are going to do 60 damage to it. Okay, so I don't like that because we did not bench a Zigzagoon, so it is still alive. We will be able to use Flower Selecting one more time. That will give Yuichi another option, and it looks like he finally draws... Oh no, he finally draws the Mirage Gate. It was in there. He dug 13 cards deep, extra on the previous turn, 14 if you count his draw for turn, and he was not able to get there, and then he draws it the next turn. Don't you hate that? We see Chorus's Experiment. Drawing all but the last card of his deck. There is yet another Mirage Gate in there. There were 2. There were 2 in there, and he did not see that off of 14 cards in his previous turn. Absolute insanity. Yeah, again, this was Yuichi's game to win. He played it well, but unfortunately, the cards were not in his favor, and this is why I don't like playing Lost Box. Yeah, that's not even a good decision on what to Lost Zone either, because that's just all your energy. And, like, what do? Like, you have to have a way to bring up the Raikou and knock it out, I guess? We're just gonna do 110 to this Vikavolt. And Polaris is at 2 prize cards remaining. He is going to take out these Comfey with the Zigzagoon, attach for turn, and go for the Super Zap Bolt even though he doesn't need to. He can just take the knockout with Paralyzing Bolt. He just goes for the overkill. 190 times 2 for weakness is 380 damage on that Cramorant, winning the game. He gets his first champion title, Polaris here, and unfortunately, the Australian does not win the Australia Championships. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, only 10% of you are subscribed. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more games like this. That was quite a doozy. Make sure you like and comment as well to feed the ever-hungry YouTube algorithm. Remember, this is not a third world country. This is the internet. We do not want the YouTube algorithm to be going hungry. Even if it was a third world country, you'd still want to feed him. It's actually even more reason to feed him. But anyways, guys, we will see you next time for the finals of the Oceania International Pokemon Trading Card Game Championship. We will see you then. Bye.